the ones who leave without saying goodbye, don't just walk away from you. They walk away from a story that was still being written. One day you're laughing with them, sharing dreams, thinking you understand where you both stand. And the next, it's silence. A silence so thick, it swallows the sound of your own heartbeat. No explanation, no closure, just gone. At first, you replay every moment, searching for the sign you missed. You think, maybe I said something wrong, maybe I wasn't enough. But the truth is, sometimes people leave, not because of you, but because they were already halfway gone before you even noticed. They leave without goodbye, because goodbye would require honesty, and honesty is something not everyone has the courage to give. They tell themselves it's easier this way. That fading into the background will hurt less than facing you with the truth. But what they don't see is silence is its own kind of violence. It leaves you questioning, not just them, but yourself. And here's what you must remember. When someone disappears without a word, it speaks more about the weight they carry than the worth you hold. Sometimes people leave without goodbye because they are ashamed. Ashamed of what they've done, ashamed of what they can't offer, ashamed of the parts of themselves they never want you to see. Other times, they leave because they can't face the look in your eyes, the one that says, "I trusted you." You see, closure is not always something they can give you. It's something you create for yourself, because if you keep waiting for them to explain, you might wait your whole life. So instead of chasing answers from someone who's already chosen absence over truth, choose to close the door yourself, not out of anger, but out of mercy for your own heart. One day you'll realize that their silence wasn't an ending, it was the space you needed to begin again. Sometimes the ones who vanish without a word aren't leaving you at all, they're running from themselves. You might think they escaped the pain by walking away, but more often they carry it with them. It follows them into new cities, new jobs, new relationships, because you can change your surroundings, but you can't outrun the mirror. When someone leaves without saying goodbye, it's tempting to imagine them living freely, laughing, moving on easily. But the truth is, people who can't face the endings in their life rarely find peace in their beginnings. They keep rewriting the same story with different characters, hoping the ending will finally change. But it never does, because the problem was never the characters. It was the author refusing to face the truth. You, on the other hand, are left holding all the unsaid words, the unspent love, the moments you thought were still ahead. And that can feel like the most unfair thing in the world. But here's where your power begins. Their silence doesn't have to be your prison. It can be your teacher. It teaches you that not everyone who walks beside you knows how to stay. It teaches you that trust is precious and not to be given without thought. It teaches you that sometimes the chapter ends without warning, and that's okay. You may not get to choose how people exit your life, but you do get to choose how you move forward from it. You can stay in the empty space they left behind, or you can fill it with new dreams, new people, new parts of yourself you haven't even met yet. Because their absence might leave a scar, but it also leaves a space, and space is where new life begins. There will be nights when you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how a person can be so present one day and so completely gone the next. You'll hear their laughter in your memory. You'll remember the exact tone of their voice when they said things you thought they meant forever. And it will feel like a shadow you can't outrun. In those moments, you might think the only way to heal is to get an answer from them. Just one message, one conversation, one explanation that makes it all make sense. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Closure doesn't come from their mouth. It comes from your decision to stop asking questions that their silence has already answered. Because a person who can leave without goodbye has already told you what you need to know, not in words, but in action. It doesn't mean you weren't worth staying for. It means they weren't ready, willing, or able to give what staying requires. And I know, it's hard to accept that, because we all want to believe that love, loyalty, or friendship can keep someone anchored. But the truth is, no matter how much you give, you cannot hold someone who's already decided to go. So instead of replaying the day they disappeared, start remembering the days before they came. Remember that you were someone before them, and you can be someone after them too. Take their leaving as proof that you can survive what you thought might destroy you. Let it be a reminder that your story doesn't end when theirs walks out, because the ones who leave without goodbye only write themselves out of your chapter. They don't take the book with them. The pages are still yours. The ending is still yours to create. One day you will wake up and realize the ache isn't as heavy as it used to be. You'll notice that the silence they left behind has started to fill not with them but with you. You'll make coffee, hear a song, watch the sunrise, and it won't feel like it's missing something anymore. It will just feel. That's the part they don't tell you about loss. That healing doesn't come all at once. It comes quietly, in the small ordinary moments where you catch yourself smiling without a reason, where you realize you went an entire day without thinking of their name, and slowly you start to understand their leaving was never the end of your story. It was just the part where you learned how to stand without their shadow beside you. You begin to see the truth. People who disappear without goodbye often carry storms they don't know how to calm, and sometimes you can't be their shelter. You can only be your own. You stop taking their absence as a reflection of your worth, because worth is not given by the ones who stay, it's discovered by the one who remains, you. You start building again, brick by brick, dream by dream. You open your life to new conversations, new faces, new laughter, and somewhere in the process, you realize you've grown into someone you might never have met if they hadn't walked away. Their silence gave you space. Their absence gave you perspective. And now, you are living proof that even after the quietest goodbyes, the heart can learn to speak again. One day, you'll meet people who don't just enter your life. They choose to stay. They won't disappear in the middle of your story. They'll sit with you in your hardest chapters. They'll listen when you fall silent. They'll tell you the truth, even when it's hard to hear. And when those people arrive, you'll understand why the others had to leave, because your heart wasn't meant to be a waiting room for those who aren't ready. It was meant to be a home for those who know how to cherish it. You'll stop looking for goodbyes from the past and start looking for hellos in the present. You'll see that not everyone who walks away takes something from you. Some just make space for something better to come. The truth about people who leave without saying goodbye is that they free you, even if it feels like they've broken you, because nothing grows in a space that's too crowded with uncertainty. Their absence clears the ground, so you can plant something real. So let them go. Let the unanswered questions remain unanswered. Let the door close without the click of a lock, and then walk forward. Because life isn't about chasing the ones who leave, it's about choosing the ones who stay, and becoming someone worth staying for. And when you look back, you won't remember the day they left as the day you lost something. You'll remember it as the day you began to find yourself.